Does anyone ever remember this show? I mean, it was a hit show in the 2023, but after 3 episodes, it was no longer a show. It got canceled after 3 episodes, and a lot of people have asked me in the comments, why hasn't this show ever come back? So, of course, we had Legends of the Defenders that also went downright missing. And I believe a small village thing is actually returning with 2 girls and their father and aunt. But other than that, these 3 shows are gone. I mean, this show was basically about 5 kids going to college, and somehow survivors influenced them by knowing about the storyline, which we were led to believe in episode 1. It kind of turned out episode 1 and 2 were kind of a lie, where everyone was supposed to do it. And the show was supposed to get us more episodes, but the creator decided to throw away the show, meaning it wasn't very good to their liking. But out of the 3 episodes, which episode was the best? Now, obviously, I'm going to rank episode 1, 2, and 3. And obviously, a lot of people might be wondering, why am I doing this small show when I could be doing, Welcome to Ravenbrooks, or, in related news, Moana 2 review. But instead, I go to the weakest show of all of them. Out of all 3 of these shows, College Life is the complete worst. And I'm just saying this now, it is the complete, absolute worst out of all of it. Not to mention that everyone has been dying or waiting on a hit TV show to be playing for ages. And it feels like Survivors is basically dead. I'm not saying this now, but Survivors has shown no effect to ever come back into the hit TV show. And frankly, episode 3 of this is the complete worst out of all 3. If I had an animation right now for my own character, you wouldn't be seeing this. So, I don't really have an animation for it. Although it would be cool to have an animation, but I'm going to talk as if there's an animation on screen. And, not to mention, but the 3 most terrible things about the show is, the show doesn't really show a purpose. I mean, at the beginning, it was kind of just about people going to college. But when the 3rd episode came out, it kind of just talked about a village. And, like, some weird people that were from college that got kicked out of college. And this was supposed to be season 2 of the show. But they decided to put it as episode 3. Because they lost the college map. But then they got the college map back. But then the show made no sense after that. And I gotta say, the most best out of all 3 of those shows probably was the small village life that was supposed to be similar to Big City Greens. No joke. They were the same exact people and the same exact characters bolted into one. And I think that show really was heart and soul.
Made it feel like it had
it even got its own book.
Escape from its world.
But every single time a show would begin, they would show something from Survivors, meaning that was supposed to be a crossover to Survivors.
Something that stole
But then again, it got delayed.
Milo, you don't have to. Your friend.
And delayed until the point where it got canceled.
And we need to find out why and if.
This show probably was the best in ages.
We could head to
but I gotta say, Survivors never did have a crossover. Which made me be like, no, why? Why is there no crossover?
You don't mean like...
I mean, come on. Very Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron get like a crossover, but we don't get that.
I assure you, you will believe that.
Survivors and some other thing. Other people were thinking that this new Seacoast Explorers would have been the answer. As we know, episode 1 was finally invented. And I'm going to rank all the episodes out of nothing. So let's start with the first episode that I'm probably going to go over. So let's just start with episode 1. Episode 1 is the worst out of all of them. Come on. It basically tells you the story right there at the very ending of episode 1. But
ready to
it's just
accept
trash.
any award
Talks
there
about
is.
A girl that wants to make a difference in a jock that is trying to change his her say. but nothing really works this way. And we're just sitting here
This will see another
watching
person's room.
maybe 15 minutes of the
Allow me to
show,
introduce
and
myself.
you were like, "Oh, I'm
When
so
the
sick
wither
of
storm
this
attacked,
show."
the world fell at its knees.
And finally, we don't
5
even
kids were
get
lost.
a good enough
And well,
show.
I went to university.
I mean, come on.
You know,
It's terrible.
University?
Not even to mention
This isn't
that
some
the
kind of
show
college.
itself was never
My parents
supposed
thought
to
it
be
would
a
be great for me to go to
thing.
university and learn
And for some
everything I could.
reason, a lot of people thought about
I'm
this
only,
show
like,
as being the worst
19.
show on the planet.
Better go. Oh, so sorry,
I
sir.
mean, it was worse
Going,
than
kid. Like,
the
you could
other
have ran
two
over me.
shows
I'm
that
so
were supposed
sorry.
to
I
be.
really
Legends
am.
of the Defenders
I'm just
is
looking
one
for
of
a
the
way out.
shows.
Whoa, I don't
It's
want to
the
hear
second
this.
worst.
You see,
Okay? I'm sorry,
I'm
but
from the
it's supposed to be
football
similar to
team,
Ninjago, right?
you know?
I see
Oh,
no
this is
aspects of
very good,
Ninjago
sir, but
happening at all.
I really should be.
So if you're
That's
asking
right,
me,
you really
this
should
show is
be
trash.
somewhere else, causing someone else.
And the
What is
the
your
only one
problem?
that's good is the Big City Greens one,
What is
where they
your
made
problem?
their own version of it. Sure, it was similar to Kip's, like,
Care?
something
Yeah.
about Barry becoming
Yes?
brave and
Oh, that's
stuff,
right.
but
You
it was
don't have a
similar.
problem.
Come
I
on.
do indeed.
It was,
You can't
if
say I have no
Big City
problems.
Greens and Little
Can't
Country
say anything.
Kibo were going to meet together, that would have been a crossover. Come on,
Prove it
Disney,
to me.
waiting for that crossover.
Prove that you can
But
take
still,
care of it.
to say
I
the
will
most,
prove it.
this show really
You know
wasn't
why?
that good.
I'm a
I mean,
hero.
You might be wondering, there are two different people
I don't need
in
someone
the show,
telling
but
me
really, all
what I
you
should
see
be
is
doing.
two people standing still for about half of the time. And I get it's their first ever animation where they tried their best to be like survivors. And
And I
survivors
never will
actually
ever again.
had a thing where you would know which character is which.
You're kidding,
What they
right?
did was kind of more
I
like
am not.
they knew which character was which,
Now,
but they
please,
chose
excuse
not
me.
to describe what the characters
Sir,
were doing. They
I
kind of just rambled on and on about words instead of actually making a point to the storyline, which a lot of people are probably hearing me talk about.
Yeah,
I gotta say,
okay,
episode
too.
1 just
Blah,
isn't
blah.
good enough
Get lost.
to be an episode. I mean, come on. The beginning talks about the girl
Sure.
wanting to be like the survivor kids.
Gosh,
And then, obviously, we get this new show called Portals, which is a
that for you.
spin-off series to Survivors, which,
As
if
I don't
anyone's wondering,
care.
it's not the sequel to Survivors that we were led to believe. And then we came up with, like, 2 episodes so far, and it's already got
Don't expect me
7,
to talk to
8
you.
views on both episodes. Like, come on, that's better than 0 views. This show literally got 0 views on episode 1, 2 views on episode 2, and 5 views on episode 3.
Whatever.
Come
You're
on,
not
man.
even good enough anyway.
I probably
Well,
made it 1
thank-
view, to be quite honest, because I watched it. And obviously, this show doesn't really have that much
Such a
spark
jerk.
in it. It's not like you know
One
what you're
day
doing
I
in the
have.
show.
Ooh,
It's kind of more
Coffee?
like
coffee.
you
coffee.
get the point. They're
One day I
talking, they're
have
talking,
to
and you
go
can see
do
when they
something
run,
right,
that's their character,
and he
what they
messes
look like.
it all up.
Really?
I'm
It's
so
like the characters
sick
don't even
of
get
it.
together or band up. The episode actual names that were supposed to show up in the show, like episode 20 was supposed to be the
You
fall
can't
of
mess
the
up something if you don't know
of
how to
the-
mess it up.
college,
I always
which
say
we never got
that.
to see. Or any of the other episodes where we were supposed to learn about a mystery about who it
Professor,
would have been that
it's good.
started this.
You have
man.
come.
No, we just
Finally.
got 3 episodes and we were
Welcome to
done after that.
university. This place
Sure, we
is
saw
far
a
away
teaser trailer for
from
more episodes.
Beacon
But when you
Town,
think about it, no
Champion
episodes got produced.
City. Ugh.
So,
hate
was the teaser
those
trailer just
places.
supposed to say there might hope?
Well, sir.
And of course,
I
there was a
was just-
scientist, maybe 2 scientists
yes,
that were
yes.
working their butts off.
Thinking
It's like
of the
one of those shows with
mightiness.
Aviator. I'm sorry,
Well,
but
you
Aviator,
see,
I'm
I've
made
made something
right now.
that you might
Work
find interesting.
on a better show.
You might live in a world.
Like, no one
Uh-huh.
wants to just see you read
Sit-
through
sit-
a thing and make
sit
a
for a
funny
while.
post for them
God.
until you actually get
What
good
have you
actors
made?
to do it. Which I will
Something
say
I
is
find
life,
rather interesting.
story.
You see, my other professors and I have thought about it. Witherstorm attacking
Well, like, they
kids.
just use a series on his code that he coded
But
himself.
you're not
He chooses
innocent at
one
all.
thing, or
Well,
maybe he
Sir,
asked
what
a
does that
friend
mean?
to borrow the map.
Means
I
you're
get that.
careless.
But not very much.
Irresponsible. Sir,
It's more
I
about
really should.
the
But
worst
anyway,
thing.
I made a
And
pure
the worst thing
headset.
is, I was gonna
Wait,
talk
what?
about my book stories,
Coming
but then I
to
was like,
my
I'll wait until
office.
like I move
Very
out
blocked down.
because
Sir,
why
I need
not?
a VR headset. I just need to know what's happening. This
And with all the
university is
work I
quite
have to do
safe.
on the farm,
not safe.
I really don't have that much time to like record videos
Universities
any
have
longer.
their places.
So I'm just
Central
recording
office,
this small
it is
video.
indeed.
I do like the
Oh, and
fact
the
that our
fine,
character
the
does
fortunate
not
can
think
go.
at all that things
sir,
are ever
wait.
going to be better. As she learns
Wait.
that they can make mobs that
What's your name again, kid?
are
Molly.
smart as humans.
It's Molly.
I mean, that's great,
Well, Molly, I
but
like your
the
spunk.
show is supposed to
Welcome
be
to the big
rated
house.
R, and so far,
Cheers are like
it's rated D.
physical. One thing here, one thing only.
And
If
yeah,
you come
I'll
upstairs,
admit,
I can show you what that thing
that
is.
was part 1.
What is it?